Oh, you know who twatted me last night?
Who twatted you?
Who twatted me on the Twitter? Sean Hannity is obsessed with me. And so last night he wrote another blog about my freaking Trump mask picture with the ketchup. You all know the picture. And changed my life. Anyway, so he does another blog about it. And I wrote to him, I said, I don't know if you're going to do very well in jail because someone like you, the rate of recidivism is going to be very high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Recidivism is a good thing to knock him on.
It's a good word, right?
Yeah.
And also, I've actually performed in prisons. And I'm telling you, they would not go for Sean. Like,
Okay.
he's not their type.
Okay.
But he's going, Priebus and all of them. They're going to
so
jail.
let's talk again about this photo. Obviously, you know, you have a mask, a Trump
You
mask.
guys know the picture, right?
Yes, it's
Okay,
it
all
looks
right,
like
all right.
you're holding up a severed head. But no one thought it was a real severed head. I certainly...
No, first of all, Matt Lauer of, oh, sorry, let me see. Of all people. Right? That one. All right, so... Allegedly.
Thank you, Kathy.
Allegedly. So he calls me on my cell phone, and I'm thinking, how the hell does Matt Lauer have my cell phone? So yeah, things got so crazy that day. I got calls from everybody, and then of course, you know, someone called and said, what if, you know who Daniel Pearl was, so I don't mean to bring the room down, but someone said, what if Daniel Pearl's mother saw this? And I've performed in Iraq and Afghanistan, places the president can't find on a map, nor has he been. And so I really, truly didn't think people would make that connection. I just thought, all I could think of was everything from, you know, spoof of Medusa and Perseus to him saying famously to Megyn Kelly, and I'm no fan, sorry. But anyway, you know, remember that one? And by the way, Santa Claus is white. Calm down, girl. You don't know. You weren't there. All right, so I don't forget. Single thing. I don't forget a single thing.
Where? Do you mean the North Pole? Is that the where?
No, Megyn Kelly went on. She went on
I remember.
She went on a rant about Santa Claus being white, and my mother loved it because you know. All right, so. By the way, it took me 2 hours to convince my mother I wasn't in ISIS that day. I swear to God, my mother. She's like, "Why did you join ISIS? Damn it!" But Mom, I'm 57 years old. I'm on the road. I'm trying to do a tour. Of all the things, I was watching my Fox News, and they said that ISIS is terrible. I get, Mom, I'm not. All right, so it was as crazy as you would imagine, and it got so crazy. I really did start to think, I've got to make this funny. And so someone named Jim Carrey called me.
Ooh.
Yeah, hey, don't be such an ass. Ooh, sell it.
Okay,
Sell
sorry.
it. All right.
Oh, wait, do it again.
So anyway, Jim Carrey called me. Oh my gosh. And the reason I bring that up is I don't really even know him that well, but it was sweet of him to reach out. And he said the greatest thing. He goes, Kathy, you're the most famous comedian in the world today. And I'm sobbing. For the wrong reasons. He goes, no, use it. And so now I'm naming the tour, and I'll be playing Carnegie Hall and Radio City Music Hall at the Kathy Griffin Laugh Your Head Off World Tour.
There you go. So, I do want to, so in no way was it a proportional response, but do you look, I mean, obviously it was done to provoke, and then you successfully provoked. Do you look back at all and say, oh gosh, there was a better photo to take, or not this one?
I wish I had okay, so first of all, I didn't really think about it. And honestly, I sent a friend of mine out for a mask at a Halloween store for $10. And then I got all the ketchup because I kept thinking about him saying at the debate, blood coming out of her eye, out of her what. And I'm like, how many men have said that crap to you of your life? So I was triggered. I admit it, triggered snowflake. And so I wanted to shame him. He's such a misogynist, and his policies are so disgusting. And for the rights of women and LGBT folks and people of color, I was like, this guy's going down. Now, granted, it was a little soon. I'm just saying, a lot of people have actually said, if this had been post-Weinstein or post-Me Too, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. But when you do something like that, I really did just try to make a statement. And I truly didn't think people would think it was an actual severed head. I go to a severed head warehouse or something.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, and also, I didn't know I was just part of the Trump, wood chipper. And I should have known, because at that time, he had only done it to, political figures. But what he did to me, I just want you guys to know, it's historic. It's never happened where a sitting United States president has used the power of the Oval Office, the first family, that group. Let's not start with the sons, date rape and Eddie Munster. All right, so I've really lightened up a lot.
I have. I mean, they've really, Come out of your shell again. We need to see Kathy Griffin.
I know, I'm so shy. All right, so and then the Fox News machine and TMZ was recording my tour cancellations in real time because of bomb threats, which I later found out were robocalls. Like, I honestly didn't know they had this apparatus already in place. So they just kind of put me in like the Colin Kaepernick wood chipper, and they bring me up on Fox like whenever it's Mueller time. They bring me up. They bring up, Maxine Waters. Like, so I'm now just in there.
And what was you were doing your show overseas, and
I wasn't. I was driven overseas, frankly. So I was in the middle of a 50-city tour, and this is all I do, you guys. I don't have a network or a studio. I go and tell my jokes town to town and hope you laugh. And
you're like I've always said. You're like Johnny Appleseed for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't make me emotional. Do not make me emotional, because that was touching. I'm only human. And so, I called my stand-up agent, and I said, this is a weird way to route a tour, but can you just send me to countries where they hate Trump? 2 weeks later, I had 15 countries in 23 cities. So it was heaven. It was heaven.
Well, I'm so happy you're doing shows here again. I look forward to seeing how they go. And
me too, seriously.
And I'm glad to see you're doing well. And thanks so much for coming back, Kathy.
Well, thank you.